Christ, there's 3 versions of the Nintendo Switch now? God. So, you've seen the Nintendo Switch OLED and thought, you know, maybe I should finally get one of them. And whether you get the original, the OLED, the light version that doesn't plug into a TV, so, you know, the name's kind of a lie. You're gonna need something to play on that thing. What are you gonna do? Use it to watch Funimation? I don't even know people who have the Funimation app that wants to watch Funimation. Now, I'm assuming that you know games like Breath of the Wild and Smash Ultimate are, like, masterpieces, and, like, again, Smash Ultimate and Mario Kart 8 are, like, the best multiplayer games. And yeah, you should get those games. And if you like atmospheric adventure games, Metroid Dread. All I'm saying. Perfect. But if you're asking me what I would recommend someone pick up, here they are. The games I picked are just what I feel would appeal to most people and what I had the most fun playing. Now, I'm going to split this up into 2 parts. One that are games that you can only get on Nintendo consoles, not specifically in the Nintendo Switch because there's a couple of ports, but and the other one is third-party games that, yeah, you can find anywhere else and, like, play them, but I feel they work best on Switch. WarioWare, get it together. I've only played the demo for this, but from what I've heard, the other WarioWare games, and from what I've played, yeah, it's perfect. It's great for couch co-op and stuff. There's unlockables, there's online challenges. It's only $50, which makes... like, no one can argue with that. It's a full-fledged game for $10 less than a normal game. Penny's theme, in of itself, is worth the price of admission. Tetris 99 is the only Nintendo Switch online game that works. Tetris 99 is like the only game I've never had any problems with. Even Nintendo can't get NES and SNES games working without frizzing out, so I'm surprised they managed to get Tetris with 98 other players to work. But yeah, you get dropped into a match with 98 other players, and you just need to beat them all. Easier said than done. I, like, only won once. This is a game that, when you look at it, makes no sense. Like Mario+Rabbids, and it's using XCOM gameplay. No way this'll work. And yet it does. Like, seriously, this game is so much fun. There's so much skill you can put into it. There's a lot of strategy that goes into a game. You got a lot of movement capabilities, like jumping on enemies, jumping through pipes, jumping on your teammates, and then jumping onto enemies, and then jumping somewhere else. You can essentially move across the entire side of a map in a match if you're skilled enough. The animation is also just so vibrant and stretchy and, like, so good. Like, people say the Nintendo Switch is underpowered, and by technicality it is, but you look at this and you just go, man, this is good. There's even, like, a DLC match for Donkey Kong. Not DLC match, an entire DLC story mode with Donkey Kong. That's, like, took me 5 or so hours to beat. There's so much. It's so good. Like, oh. However, I recommend holding out on it until it goes on sale, because it's technically a Ubisoft title, so it goes on sale, like, every couple weeks. So instead of, like, $80 for the full package, it's only $20, and by full package I mean that and all the DLC. So, like, just wait for it to go on sale. It's great. Just it's a must buy. This was a 3DS game originally, but it came out in 2017, and most people didn't get a chance to play it then, so to a lot of people, this is a Nintendo Switch title. Miitopia was frankly a highlight of the 3DS lineup. I bought it, like, not technically day one on 3DS, I bought it the Saturday after it came out, but this time I bought it day one. It's a quirky RPG where you get to choose a Mii as a player character, and then make your partners also Miis that you have made or just other people have made. You can use QR codes, whatever. There's also a Mii Maker, of course, but it's greatly expanded. Like, you can do fucking anything. Whether it be, like, add little details to your Miis to make them Like, I think for mine, there was like an Anakin me that had like a scar over his face. That was really cool. Or you could just say screw it and make whatever you want. The game itself almost seems like a parody of other RPGs. Takes a typical fantasy setting and plays with it to just make the strangest enemies. You know, you get slimes, you know, normal, floating rocks, all the same, and then you get things like pieces of bread or twerkies. Even with the story, the Dark Lord starts stealing people's faces. That's weird in and of itself, but you become chosen to be the almighty hero from a magical amulet given to you by the mother of a kid whose face got stolen. And the amulet is possessed by God, and he's the one that sends you all the party members and like gives you upgrades to like how your healing capabilities and stuff. You know, when you legit just make God an element in your story, you're either two things. One, a super religious story, or a parody. And yep, it's a parody. Your party members act of their own accord, which sounds bad, but they're generally smart and most of the time will help you, unless they just kind of get on a habit of eating bananas. That happened to me a few times in the 3DS version. It doesn't seem to happen here. Don't quote me on that though, I might have just been lucky. Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite games of all time. The original. I'm just saying, the original is one of my favorites. But I have to admit, Luigi's Mansion 3 is the best game in the series. The Last Resort is surprisingly lively given the name. There's just, every room is filled with so much personality and clever puzzles. A few highlights for me are the gym floor, the magician floor, not shown, the night floor, which is shown, thank you. There's a couple bigger improvements like a vacuum jump. There's also a plunger that is used a lot, and like the fact that they got rid of the dark light like time limit makes it finally feel like Luigi's moveset is like complete. Like every button does something, and you're gonna have to use all of it to solve the puzzles. Including Luigi, the game's big gimmick. He's essentially just a built-in couch co-op so you can like tackle the game with a friend. He's invulnerable to spikes and most forms of death. He can walk through bars, slide through pipes. He's essentially just Jello Luigi. He disintegrates in water though, so you know, he's the one negative. And happily, like I was just mentioned, he's not a one-time gimmick. He's used all throughout the game for solving every puzzle. And it is a big, that's your like main puzzle solving thing. The ghosts, oh god, the ghosts animations. It's like they combined like the charming personality of the ghosts from the first game with like the animation and expressiveness of the ghosts in the second game. They're not as good as the ghosts in the first game, mind you, but they at least do a lot more than the ones in the second game, so they at least I feel can at least compete. Like I feel like there can actually be an argument on, oh, which of the ghosts are better. And there's portrait ghosts again. I think they're just called boss ghosts, but there's portrait ghosts again, which like, just, I'm so glad they brought it back. The game, when you're playing alone, is great. I haven't really played it in co-op. I don't have friends. Luigi's Mansion is just an endlessly replayable gem. I absolutely love it to death. It's got amazing animation, great co-op, tons and tons of secrets to find, and so much personality. There's also an online multiplayer mode, the Scare Scraper, which is just an extended version of the last game, Dark Moon's multiplayer mode, and like a new minigame thing that I've never touched. So, you know, yeah. Funnily enough though, those are the modes that got DLC. The main game didn't get DLC, but the multiplayer modes I completely forgot about did. Tropical Freeze is the best 2D platformer ever. I'm not taking constructive criticism. It originally came out on the Wii U, but no one owns a Wii U, so it's a Nintendo Switch game. The game's got lively animations, amazing music, such creative level design that mixes so well with the world. It is so good. It's very hard though, especially when you get to the K-Temple bonus stages. World 2's K-Temple stage, Popopolis, is just the hardest level in the entire Donkey Kong franchise. I'm not taking constructive criticism. The game is a must-play in my books, frankly. Just play it. Mario Odyssey is just simply amazing. It is so cool. I can't say much about it. It is just so much fun, amazing. You have so many movement options. You can take control of every enemy. Even if they have hats, you just knock them off and then you can take control of them. It's really cool. It's like the main reason to own a Switch, in my opinion. Like, that's the game you play. Like, oh my god. I just wish I could say more about it, but I really can't. I'm boring, I know, I'm sorry. Okay, now that we got the Nintendo exclusive games that are on the Switch, but I could recommend pretty much getting them anywhere because of how cool they are, or just how much fun. Stardew Valley is a game made in the style of the old Harvest Moon games, and like, not only does it like trounce the new Harvest Moon games, it essentially does what the old games do, except like 10 times better. Essentially, you leave your life at an office job and go work on a farm that your grandpa left you when he passed away. Your main objective starts with just kind of getting situated with the community, and you kind of help revive the community, get rid of the JoJo Mart, which is essentially just Walmart. I can get behind destroying Walmart. That's something I can favor. I think my favorite part of the game are the characters. It's just, all of them feel like real people, especially once you get to know most of their backstories. Like, they're so good. Sonic Mania is the best Sonic game ever. I legit can't say anything else about it. I feel like I'm spoiling it. It's just, oh my god, it's so perfect. Play it now. You have no choice. Okay. The fact that Japan kept this game from us for about 6 years should be considered some kind of crime. Fun fact, this game is the best Ace Attorney game. The name checks out. Also, it's the most accessible, I feel, not because Sherlock Holmes is in it, but he is. He's like one of the best characters. Also, it's because the first case is tutorialized very, very well. So new players are given a good place to start and get comfortable with the mechanics. And series veterans can get acquainted with the series now that they can play it on a proper controller and not a DS. Woo! That's about as much as I can say without spoiling it. And it's actually important I not spoil the plot this time around because, like, it's just a book essentially with visuals and like the best soundtrack to ever grace a video game. It's great for reading on a trip, frankly. It can sometimes be a niche title, and it is a time sink. It took me 80 hours to beat. 20 hours of that was spent on the first game of the collection, and the rest of it was spent on the second game. It also like runs circles around the HD release of the Ace Attorney trilogy. The Gray's Ace Attorney legit doesn't have any issues because it was originally released in 2 parts, and like at the time that was a problem because they were released 2 years apart, but because they're both in the same package and full price, and you get like concept art from sadly only the first game. The second one was like a pre-order like bonus thing, so like me and a few other people got it, but like no one else did, and that's annoying. But it doesn't matter because you get that, you get promotional trailers, you get all bonus episodes put in, you get the music all included. Oh. And the game, despite the fact it's a 3DS game, it looks like it was made to fit on an HD display. It works so well. And it still works great on a Switch's handheld screen. So like there's no way, there's no argument. Death Road to Canada is a game I feel kind of flies under the radar for most people. And to be fair, it is kind of niche, but it's still really fun. It's like the Oregon Trail, but with zombies and a laissez-faire attitude. The biggest draw of the game to me is like you can customize characters, and like it's really neat seeing like get into like random events or whatever, such as characters turning into gargoyles, genies in toilets, living anime, dogs in trench coats, Bort Simpson, who then becomes a muscle-bound freak. This is an actual thing that last one actually I didn't even know existed, so that caught me off guard. It's kind of fun every now and again to just boot it up, play around with a couple custom characters and die. But one of the reasons I recommend it most is the multiplayer, because yes, you can do multiplayer. You just kind of plug in a controller and whatever other player is there just takes control of one of your party members, and it's really fun and cool. Especially when you get like up to 4 players, that's where chaos begins. It's like trying to herd a group of cats. It is. Especially since y'all can control the menus, and it only takes one guy pressing the wrong button and getting everyone into a horrible situation. It's amazing. Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's like the best multiplayer game. You get the best version of Tetris and the best version of Puyo Puyo. That's all I really need to say. They're all running at full cylinders. You got a stupid as hell single player mode. You got hundreds of different modes, from like your typical, oh hey, just fight multiplayer, to just clear a bunch of lines, to like a party multiplayer mode that I didn't record because I don't really like it, but anyways, a fusion mode. There's just so much to do, man. It's like me and my cousins, whenever we get together for multiplayer, you know how people say, oh, like Mario Kart and Smash Ultimate is like the best multiplayer thing, like I did at the beginning of the video? Nah, man, Puyo Puyo Tetris, it's the best. All this goes for like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Haven't played it yet. All I know is like there's a weird RPG mode that looks interesting, and like Sonic characters. I think it's actually just Sonic, but don't quote me on that. Look, both these games, come on. I legit can't say anything else. They are just amazing. Buy them. And I guess that is the end. Thank you for... I can't do end slates very well, can I? This has been on the back burner for months, but I need to get something out before Thanksgiving so I can at least feel some sort of accomplishment. And like a project I thought was just going to be a quick put together thing, it's going to end up being like 40 or so minutes and will require like a lot of effort, and that's like pushed another project I was planning on doing till next year. So this is like the one thing I have that I can put together very easily. You could probably hear the creaking of my chair. And this is legit like the 3rd time I had to record this audio because of I had my fan on last time and I didn't notice. So like that just like ruined the audio. It's super early in the morning. Why am I doing this? Oh, right, because I got till like Thursday to finish this, so I gotta like throw this together real sharp like. Anyways, there's social media things like I have a Twitter. Also have a Tumblr, I think. No, I definitely have a Tumblr. But I think I also have a Twitter. I don't know what I do. I'm no social media manager. I'm just a graphic arts student that's trying desperately to do anything to make myself feel accomplished. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you actually enjoyed hearing my stupid voice, stick around, I guess. Oh, I forgot to do the annoying YouTuber thing of asking you to like and subscribe. Do that, I guess. F it, I'm going back to bed. Good night.